Hey everyone, it's Ayo Fashola, and today I have with me Farah
Yes.
Harris.
Yes.
And today in this video, we're going to be discussing the topic of, closing the insecurity gap and body image and the whole mind and body connection with body image. For those of you who don't know me and who are, meeting me on video for the first time, my name is Ayo Fashola, and I'm a style coach, wardrobe consultant, and founder of stylebyio.com. If you follow me on LinkedIn, you've probably seen the moniker stylecologist. And so if you've always wanted to know, if you see my profile and you're like, okay, what in the world is a stylecologist? I'm going to use this opportunity real quickly to tell you what it is. So I've been doing, personal styling for a few years now, actually more than a few years, since 2007. And over the years, my work has evolved to include some psychology elements within my work. So I deal with issues on, on the body, feeling good about your body. I deal with issues on confidence, mindset, really basically owning your personal style. If you've got all this gunk and messaging, it's going to get in the way of you really showing up as you, right? And my job is to help you make sure that you are matching the clothes. The clothes are a match with your authentic self. And so we got to get rid of the muck that's in the way of you being your authentic self. And so hence the term stylecologist. And so it's just a blend of both of those words. I'm so excited to have Farah on this call today because, this month my campaign is Free Your Mind, Love Your Body. And May is Mental Health Awareness Month, right? And we can't deny the fact that our minds are connected to our bodies, and how we think affects how we feel and how we even move and interact with our bodies. Would you say so, Farah?
You're right on point.
So the reason I'm bringing her on this call today is just really, really quickly, when I started my career in 2007, I was really, really naive. I just thought, I was going to get in the closet. We were going to just have a lot of fun. We were just going to shop and have on all these clothes. I mean, I saw shows like What Not to Wear. So I was like, I could do this.
Yes.
Right? This shouldn't be complicated.
Yeah.
But, I remember when I was interacting with one of my first clients and we were in the dressing room and I pulled a shirt for her that was a scoop neck top, very simple, not exposing cleavage, just basically exposing the, just the skin area of her neck. And in the dressing room, I literally saw my client's story right before my eyes. I saw her image wounds. I saw her body image issues. I saw her mind, what was going on in her head. Yeah. Whatever was going on showed up in that dressing room. And I honestly did not know what to do. It was not the place for that to happen.
Like, what's happening?
Yeah.
You're supposed to be looking fabulous. Right. Like, what's going on?
So it was in that moment that I realized, like, wow, first of all, TV never shows this part.
The breakdown.
They never show you that part, right?
Yeah.
And it made me realize that there's work I need to do before I actually get in the closet. Yeah. Like, there's work I need to do with to have an awareness of what's going on mindset-wise, emotionally. If there are any image wounds, like, let's bring this up out in the surface, right? And let's know what we want to do with it before we get in the dressing room.
Yes.
Right? Because they may not even be ready, on a deeper level. And in my work now, as I've learned, this is part of the process, is having my clients have an awareness of what's going on, if there are any image wounds that we need to explore, what's going on in their mental psyche. Now, I'm not a therapist. I don't go deep, but I have come across clients that they're not ready to work with me. They're not. They need to be referred out to someone. they need a therapist. I mean, their body image issues are deep.
Yeah.
And so that's what brings me here on this video call with you, Farah. I want to use this opportunity to explore from a psychotherapist perspective, what's going on? Like, what is the narrative? What have you found in your work? What's skewing the self-perception between how we see ourselves, what's going on in our mind, and what's showing up physically in our body?
Yeah. No, well, first of all, I just want to thank you because I think this campaign is fabulous.
Thank you.
You even thinking of me and considering me, I totally appreciate this. So I am completely thrilled to be here and to have this conversation with you because it's needed.
Yes.
And I want people to understand that Mental Health Awareness Month, yes, it's the month of May, but we really have to converse about mental health every day of the year.
Correct.
Because all of us are experiencing some point of frustration, stress, discomfort, and if we're not, we know someone who is. And your topic specifically about body image and how we perceive ourselves is so important because we don't hang up our body, at the end of the day.
No.
And, the next day we're like, well, let me put this body back on. Like, we live and are in our bodies all the time.
Right.
And it is interesting how people, when we talk about this, topic, and you put this in the post, advertising our conversation about anorexia or bulimia or body dysmorphic, we think about those disorders when we think about mental health and body image. But yet we don't talk about how race plays into the role of body image and our perception, hair texture, culture, our gender. If you're a woman and you work in a predominantly male environment, just how you dress. You're thinking about that because you're like, well, I don't want to be overly feminine. And I've had clients similar to you who they have a different narrative for why they view their bodies a certain way. Sometimes trauma, so if they've had sexual abuse in their past, they may have put on weight to become quote unquote less attractive.
Yeah.
Their weight has become their armor. That is what they're using. This is their barrier, their boundary from being hurt again. Sometimes it's depression. And so I love how you said, like, the body and mind are connected.
Yes.
And so if you're depressed, then you may not be taking care of yourself, like exercising or eating well. So then that makes you more depressed. But, in turn, if you're eating well and exercising, that may actually help with your mood. So it's kind of like the chicken and the egg, so you're not sure exactly where the beginning and the end starts. But if we're always working towards our wellness, the mind body becomes more aligned. And
go ahead. And I now that you touched on that, because I remember, if you remember our conversation, sometimes those messages can get, whatever has happened in our lives, where, like you said, trauma with the sexual abuse, that's maybe a person may put on weight, right? Yeah. So we internalize things that happen to us, right? Yeah. We blame ourselves. We think that there's something that we did, it's our fault. It's like, and so we internalize these messages, we take them on, and then we wear them in our bodies, right? And I think you saw my video that I posted about, my stepmother, wanting to buy me bleaching cream, right? Not even wanting, she took me to the store.
Yes. Come on, this is what we're doing.
She took me to the store to buy me this bleaching cream, telling me that I was too dark, right? I wasn't thinking like that when I was 16.
No.
I was not thinking that way. I was just happy. I was free. I was doing my thing. But when she planted that seed inside me, it was like
one conversation.
It does. And I internalized that message. And now everywhere I'm looking, I'm like, oh, well, maybe there is a color issue thing. Maybe there is this whole dark light thing, right? You find it's like, you constantly start, and then because I thought I was dark, I wouldn't wear the vibrant colors because I'm like, oh, I don't want
I don't want to stand out.
Yeah,
So you can see how dark I am.
Right,
yes.
right. Because I didn't want, because it's supposedly, according to my stepmother, not attractive. So it's interesting how we internalize, this whole mental body thing.
Yes.
That could totally just throw us off our game.
Definitely. And I mean, I remember watching the video and going like, see, everyone has a story. Because, you can be on LinkedIn and you're seeing people's posts, you're watching people's videos, and you're not thinking anything like, oh, I like the content, or I like her glasses, it's a cute top. And then you go, oh, I didn't know that she struggled with that, or that was a part of her story. And I did a video too on LinkedIn talking about be careful to not internalize the external narrative. If it's not doing good by you, then we need to figure out how to edit that out of our story, because it's not helpful. And I think I shared with you in our previous conversations about, even on a cultural level, so my family is Haitian. And there was a time in college where, people pack on the freshman 15 or whatever. And I put on some weight, and not in the way that I wanted to, it wasn't because I was working out and drinking protein and anything. It was, no, I had a gut. And I came home and, I remember my parents and other family members like, oh, you put on some weight, you look good. And then it was, again, the whole what's attractive. So if I'm smaller, does that mean I'm less attractive? If I'm bigger, does that mean that I'm more attractive? So then it goes back to what value do I have and how is it connected to my body? Because am I only more valuable because I'm lighter? Am I only more valuable because I'm smaller or I'm bigger? And if it doesn't do well, it's like, okay, you know what? We need to edit, cut, delete.
It takes a long time for people to get to that, right?
Yeah.
Because just like I even said too in that video, society is constantly reinforcing the messages that keep you from really owning who you are, right? Like think of just like what I posted about the cosmetic industry, right? And increase 200%, right? That people are getting work done on their bodies.
Yeah.
That's huge.
Yes.
Right?
Yes. And I mean, and I think when you, with that post, it again highlights how much mental health is more broad than just, certain disorders, so it's like if you tweak your nose, or, you get your ears pinned back a little bit because you may have had ears that stick out, people don't go like, oh, is that a mental health issue? That's not, anorexia. You're not starving yourself, or you're not, binge eating. We usually go to those disorders, which are very important. We do need to have those conversations, but each one of us walks around thinking about, oh, maybe my hips are too wide, or maybe my eyes are too far apart. We think about all these little things that are not necessarily body dysmorphic, but it does affect our self-esteem and how we view ourselves.
And who are we comparing ourselves to, right?
Yeah.
Who are we comparing ourselves to? I think you said something the other day that I thought was powerful, like comparison is the thief of
all joy.
Yes. So when we're comparing ourselves, right? It's crazy to do that.
Yeah.
There's 7 billion people on this planet. How is one body image better than another's?
Yes.
When we come in a variety.
Yep.
Whose standard are we judging how we look against? Right?
Yeah.
And I get that, surgery, cosmetic surgery, there are things that happen that, if it's going to make you feel good, and if it's going to improve your self-image, do it, right? But then it gets extreme. I mean, before you know it, you're seeing people that look like they don't even look like themselves anymore.
No, they don't.
They're completely done.
After, it's like you become a different human being.
Like
you're under the witness protection program. You're not who you say you are.
Yeah. Come on.
Yeah.
Way too far. So that the internal message.
Yes. The self-talk.
Is going crazy.
Yeah. Yeah.
Right? It's going completely crazy. And it's just to kind of touch on what you said too about the whole weight thing. I remember when I turned 25, I was starting to put on a little flesh. My stepson was like, you're getting a little thick there. You may need to slow that down. And now I'm self-conscious about my body now. Like,
and we literally got the same message. We both end up getting thicker, and one narrative is that's not good, and the other narrative is, oh, that's a good thing. And so what are we supposed to do with that when we get these mixed messages? Right. And we need to figure out, how do we reconcile that within ourselves? And so, to your point, I think what's exciting about this conversation is that mental health, and I've stated mental health is life, it's just the life issues that we deal with. And who would have thought something as simple as a garment, and having a personal style has something to do with your mental health. But if you're not good with you, if you're not aware enough of how you view yourself, a healthy view of self, then you're going to either dress, a way that hides you,
right,
or can let us know that you don't care about yourself,
right,
or it expresses your vibrancy and all that you want to, hey, I'm showing up in my life, look at me.
Correct.
And so I just think this is exciting because I think it is more than clothes.
It is.
Yeah.
Yes, at the same time, we can see your clothes to tell what's going on back there.
Yeah. Exactly.
Like when I go to a networking event and I see someone like wearing all black, right? Like all black shirt, black pants, black shoes. I look at this person and go, they're not in a spirit to engage me right now.
Wow.
Something is going on back. They're here. Their body is here, but they don't want to attract me to them. They're basically like, I'm not open to receiving you right now.
Now, let me ask you a question, because you're a stylist.
Okay.
So, we've been told, black is slimming, black is, looks good on everyone. So is it just the color, but is it also the personal style in terms of cut?
Okay, good question. So the reason why the media pushes the whole black is slimming thing is because color and being able to use color and work with color is complicated, right? Color is a language all on its own. There is a psychology to it.
Color.
You got to understand hues and the theory of color, saturation, and so because people want to sell clothes, right? It's like, okay, color is complicated. We get it.
Yeah.
I want you to buy something. So buy black. And here's the reason why you should buy black. Because it's slimming, right? Because it's this. So, you're going to go, oh, okay, well, I don't understand color. I don't feel comfortable standing out. I do want a new dress. I'm going to go get black. It's safe, right? I don't have to think about it. I don't have to put too much thought about how I'm going to mix and match it, right? So it's a play it safe approach to dressing. Now, am I saying that wearing black can't look good? Totally, right? I mean, if it's got some texture to it, if it's got some sequence to it, maybe some lace to it, right? Right. If you're using the black to show off your personal style, right? Because it's got some texture to it, then totally rock it, right? But a lot of people, at the end of the day, you have to know why you're doing what you're doing.
I like that.
It goes back to the mindset. So if you are just pulling black out of your closet as default mode, I don't want to think about it.
Yeah, it's safe.
I'm trying to play it safe. I don't like my body. I want to hide. Black is slimming. then you know why you're pulling black. That's
Yeah.
something that you have to deal with within your own mindset to change.
Mm-hmm.
And that's the reason why a lot of clients do come to me, because they're like, you know what? My whole closet is black.
Yeah.
I have fallen for the messaging. My whole closet is black. What? Wait a minute. You know, I'm not expressing myself. I'm hiding.
Mm-hmm.
So I hope that answers your question. Yeah,
Yeah.
you can wear black in a really sophisticated, chic way.
Mm-hmm.
But I'll tell you the reason I wear black, Farah. The reason I wear black is when I don't want to be bothered.
Wow.
When I don't want to be bothered. Yeah, I don't want to.
Remember that.
Yes, I don't want to be bothered.
Mm-hmm.
I've got my head down. I'm working. I don't want anybody to come talk to me. I don't want anybody to approach me. Don't strike up a conversation with me.
It's an invisible shield.
I'm not in the mood.
Gotcha.
But it's not my default mode.
Yeah. Yeah.
See, now when it becomes a default mode, when I find myself wearing black 2, 3, 4 days in a row,
what's going on?
Or I start to ask myself, Aya, what's going on?
Exactly.
What are you thinking? How are you feeling?
Mm-hmm.
Right? Why are you stuck like this? What's going on in my mind and in my emotions?
Yeah. And that is so good, because it gets right back to the mindset and the self-awareness.
Correct.
So, because this conversation is not about losing weight or finding a trainer, or anything like that. It is, how are you aware of where you are mentally and emotionally? Correct. So that you can, like you said, there are people who, you're not ready to work with me. You got some work to do before you can come to me so that you can express yourself. I think of, moms that come into my practice who lose their sense of identity because they've gone into motherhood, and, their default uniform now is either sweatpants and a sweatshirt, joggers, and it's like, well, who are you? Well, I don't know. And they lose their sense of self. And so it's like, okay, let's bring some awareness back. Like, what makes you feel good? And I think we talked about this in a previous conversation with people like, well, when I lose some weight, that's when I'll call you. Child, you've been trying to lose weight for the whole last year.
5 years.
5 years, And so it has nothing to do with your size. It has all to do with how you perceive yourselves, yourself, because you can be small and still hide.
Right.
You can be a smaller size and still not have a positive view of self.
Correct.
You can still not express yourself in clothes with wearing, patterns, like you said, or the cut, or the color, and so if we can take time to go, like, what is my relationship with my body? Right. And connecting to the narrative. Like you said, you were 25 when you heard this one story from your stepfather. You were 16 when you heard another story, from
my stepmother.
It's like, okay, what is the story I want to tell?
Ooh, I like that.
What is Ayo's story? What is Farah's story? How do I want to show up in my own narrative? Because if I don't like my weight, then yes, there are things we can do. You can go to the gym, you can eat healthier, but that should not delay you expressing who you are.
Correct.
We don't want you to wait to show up.
No.
Tomorrow is not promised. So, I mean, like, you sitting here talking to me, you're bringing value to me because you're showing up.
You don't know what size I am, and it doesn't matter.
And it doesn't matter. Because you are you.
We talked about that with Oprah. We love Oprah. Yes. Right? We don't care whether, Oprah made such a big deal about her weight over the years.
Yes, but it didn't make her a better journalist or a, less better journalist, regardless of size. It was the essence of who she was. Like, our body is just a temporal space, and, we want to do good by it. We want to be healthy. We don't want to have the illnesses like diabetes or hypertension or strokes or any of that stuff. So yes, we want to take care of ourselves, but we still need to look and go, what is the story connected to my body? Am I a mother? Do I have those? I call it, I've had 2 kids. I say my belly's the eye of the tiger. So all the stretch marks are there, but then there's a story to it. They're there now because I've carried 2 humans, and so, but that's not going to make me stop loving color.
Right. Okay.
I may just have to go a size up, but I'm still going to rock it because I want to be able to not turn down my light because something else is not necessarily where I want it to be.
And another thing too, I think is so important for someone to take away from this conversation as well is remember your intrinsic value.
Thank you.
Who you are on the inside. Are you loving? Are you kind? Are you compassionate? Are you generous?
Yes. Those are the gifts that you offer people, not your size.
I mean, exactly. What do you love about who you are and how you are to people? How are you making people feel when they're in your presence?
Yeah.
Right? Are you bringing them joy? Are you bringing them happiness? Right? But this whole Instagram world we're in now. Has people so caught up on the physical, right? We're absorbing body types and hips and shapes and all this stuff. But there's there's an internal person too.
Yes. Your soul, your being.
Yes.
Yeah.
How do you learn to cultivate that part of you as well?
Yeah.
To align the mind and the body. There's an emotional part. That's the alignment.
Yeah.
Right.
And, and I don't know how many people are even aware of how powerful our minds are in the actions that we take every day. Just like the neuroscience to like our behavior, that there's things that are happening, subconsciously that, if we heard at 5 years old, something, from our family, and again, 6, 7, 8, oh, okay, well, that must be true now. And because that's true, my response is to do this. So people who emotionally eat, there's something going on neurologically. It's like, oh, when I feel pain, I go to cookies, and that makes me feel good. I get I get the rush of dopamine. I feel fine. Or people may go to sex, and all of a sudden, it's like again a rush of dopamine, maybe some oxytocin because the connection, between this partner. But then you realize, wait, this is not making me feel good in the long run. Our brains are stuck.
You feel even worse.
Yes. And so we create patterns. And so, when it comes to body imaging, it's like, okay, what patterns have we created that actually add to how we perceive ourselves? What is the thing that's looping? What is the narrative, the line that's looping? You're too big, you're not smart, whatever. And then we got to go, okay, I need to change that. Let me focus on something else. I think you gave a good example the other day when we were talking about, sometimes you can be so focused on something someone else doesn't even see. You're like, oh my gosh, I have like a really big, nose. And it's like, oh, I've never paid attention to that. I didn't even know. And it causes you to shrink because you're so focused on something completely, an internal message that's not good. And everybody else is like, oh my gosh, you're so smart, you're so caring, you're so this. And you're like, but I have a big nose. What does your nose have to do?
And I never even noticed. Right?
Never noticed.
It's like you zero in on a body part that no one, like I was sharing with the client, I think we talked about this where we took her measurements, wider in the shoulders and narrow in the hips, and she was like, well, no, I got big legs. And I'm like, well, no, not in comparison to your shoulders and your height. It's actually slim compared to your shoulders. But she's not seeing herself as a whole.
Yeah.
Now she's zeroing in on her legs, right? So she's assuming she just has big legs when in reality, in comparison to the rest of the body, she doesn't.
But I think that's why it's so important to have perspective.
Correct.
Because sometimes we have these blind spots about ourselves that we need people who are loving and caring and want to do right by us that can tell us, something true, something good about ourselves, to help us to kind of shift that, the mental maps that we've created, to shift that thinking, change, slowly change the narrative, because otherwise we can get stuck in our own heads, and it's not always healthy there.
No, it's not.
So we may need an IO to go, let me give you fact.
Yes.
Because sometimes our beliefs are not based off of facts, they're based off of feelings. And we need to be able to go like, no, honey, your shoulders are this size, your hips are here, and this is proportionate. And to go, oh, okay, maybe I've been looking at the wrong thing. So let's like zoom out so that we can have better perspective of who we are.
Objective perspective.
Objective perspective, yes.
You know what I mean? So that we're not, because someone looking at you objectively doesn't hear your, excuse my French, bullshit story.
No.
I don't know what the story is. I'm seeing you as you are, right? I don't know what you have playing behind the scenes, like a broken record.
Right.
I don't hear it, right? So someone on the outside looking in, or someone like myself, like a style coach, I can come in and say, this is the reality of your body type. I don't know what messages are playing back there, but this is how you physically look, and we can make this look great.
Yeah.
Period.
Yeah.
So Farah, we're coming up on pretty much the end of our call.
Yes.
What would you say are some key takeaways if someone is, let's say I send one of my clients, to you that I'm like, okay, you're not ready right now, but maybe you can get some tips from Farah or, a psychotherapist in your area. What would be some key takeaways on a general level that people should be aware of and keep in mind and help them to have a healthier body image and mindset?
Yes. Well, there's some things, obviously, I believe that therapy is the best form of personal development, that at some point in life, it'd be great to talk to a professional. So for myself, I'm in private practice here in the south suburbs of Chicago. So, if you are in the south suburbs or in the Chicagoland area, give me a shout. But, if you haven't been able to schedule, an appointment with a therapist, there's some things that you can do like literally today, which is, get a journal, start writing your story, start, figuring out how to connect those dots, the same way that you shared your story about what happened at 26 and 25, and then go, what are those beliefs to that story? When this happened, and then go, like I said, I love the cut, delete, edit, edit that story. You are the narrator, you are the editor to your own narrative, so then go like, well, how would I want to picture myself? Be kind. We are so not kind to ourselves. We will sit there and affirm someone else with the quickness. And then, like you said, the crap that's in our head, we'll sit there and beat ourselves up. So, to practice the self-talk of being kind, whether that is writing affirmations, some people are Post-it notes, folks, where there's something on their, bathroom mirror that they see or in their car.
I used to do that.
I don't know if you ever watched the show Being Mary Jane.
Oh yeah, of course.
It's like all
really think of it.
all throughout the house. So whether it's your own words of affirmation to yourself or someone else's words that you resonate with, you can put those up. But for those who are interested in investing in their own personal development, I would suggest, calling your insurance if you have insurance, finding out what your local list of providers are. If you want to do a quick research, people kind of like to see what they're going to get beforehand. So there's directories like psychologytoday.com for Black women and Black girls. There's an awesome directory called Therapy for Black Girls. There's also a podcast related to that on mental health and how it affects, Black women. And there is another one in the Chicagoland area, and I'm getting the name real quick. It is Therapy Road. So for those who are in the Chicagoland area, that's another one, another directory you can find, or you can talk to your physician and get a referral, or you can talk to a friend or family member who has gone to therapy and get a recommendation. But it is so pertinent for us to do our self-work, because when we're healthy, we create healthier environments.
That's true.
So, when you're a healthy mom or a healthy wife, you make a better partnership. you
That's
make,
true.
better, healthier kids. And so the more well we are, hopefully it creates a ripple effect. The same way that the more sick we are, or the, unhealthier we are, we affect the environments that we're in. So my encouragement is try to find ways to connect to your story. You are who you are for a reason. There's a why behind everything that we do. So there's even a why to how you dress.
Yes.
There's a why to how you view your body. And, just being able to try to connect to that would be my encouragement. And of course, again, self-love, and find those who love you to affirm you on those days where it may be hard for you to tell yourself that you're valuable and that you're wonderful.
So where can a person find you? Do you have a Facebook or something, like, to get more information, or?
Sure. Yes. So all of my social media handles are Farah Harris LCPC.
Okay.
So social media, Facebook, Instagram, and Twitter.
Okay.
At Farah Harris LCPC.
Okay. All right. So I hope you all enjoyed this conversation. Again, all month I'm going to be focusing on body confidence. So having clarity about just how you feel about your body is so important. I have a free downloadable where you can get 17, you can see which 17 behaviors you are practicing that's interfering with your personal style, right? So the main thing is that, are you avoiding looking at yourself? Are you checking too much? So there are a list of questions that you could ask yourself. If you're doing any of these 17 behaviors, you more than likely have some body image issues. So, and it's something that you may want to explore. So I'll have that available for you to download. Also, I've also have 2 Facebook Live events coming up next week. One is called Healing Your Image Wound. So I'm going to be sending you some questions for you to explore what's in there. This is part of the journaling that Farah was talking about, right? So you get to enjoy, you get to assess this, bring them up, and then you get to see what you want to do about them, right? You want to say, you know what, you gremlins, I'm over you, I'm shooting you down. Or, or if you discover through our Facebook Live and you take these questions that, you know what, this is something I need some real serious help with, then we can help you, and Farah can help you, or refer. Farah can help you. I want to make sure I'm saying your name right. Farah can help you and make sure she's referring you to the right place. And then the next Facebook Live that I have is Healing Your Image Wounds Around Clothing. Maybe you were growing up and you got hand-me-downs.
Ooh, see, story. There's the narrative.
Right? Or maybe, you got made fun of for your style at school, right? Or maybe your mom told you never to wear a particular color.
Yeah.
So now you shy away from it, right? So again, what story and narrative is going on behind the scenes, right? So during these Facebook Lives, you'll get these questionnaires from me. You'll get a chance to explore these questions for yourself. And then I'll use Facebook Live as an opportunity to sort of go in depth about these topics and how you can move forward so that you can truly own who you are and show up as the amazing, radiant being that you're born to be.
Yes. Okay? Let's all be brilliant. This is awesome.
That's how we came into this world brilliant.
Amen.
We didn't come into this world with the stories.
Yes.
Don't leave this world with the stories either.
Not the good, not the bad stories. Let's leave with the good stories.
Let's leave with the good stories, So Farah, thank you so much.
Thank you so much, Ayo. It was such a privilege. Thank you for considering me.
No, you're welcome. I mean, I see your stuff on LinkedIn. You're totally killing it. I love how giving you are. Don't stop. Keep sharing. Keep sharing your knowledge. Keep supporting your community. And, we always get it right back when we do, right?
Yes. From one servant to another. Thank you.
You're welcome. You're welcome. All right. Well, that's it. Thank you. And until we meet again, scream style. All right. Thanks, Farah.
You're welcome.
Okay. Bye-bye.